Let's play. So the piece behind me here is called Puppy, and it's just a reference to play, because I've just had a puppy come into my life, and seeing that sort of innocent play for its own sake is just reminds me of, hey, that's how to live, you know. I mean, all this hard graft and serious work, hey, that just grinds you down into the ground. So seeing this puppy made me think, hey, I'll just play with a big piece on Martin's wall, because, you know, I did all these small pieces in the other side of the wall here, the other side of the gallery. I thought, well, and everything relates anyway. And so from a small piece, each one of these could be quite large there, so it's all about components. So starting this piece, I just bought a bunch of panels and cheap pieces of thin, you know, light wood, and then just thought, okay, what am I going to do? I have no idea. But started with the one piece down here, which had a lot of, it's got these casts, these hockey tape that I tape my ankles up to play soccer, and so over the years I've just kept them and sliced them open and just pasted them down. So just to create some texture, because there's some real rhythmical texture in the way that the tape was wound and bound. So did that, and then started out in an outdoor studio. The pup came out, and he took one of the older dogs with him, and they started to zoom around playing, and so infectious. I mean, I was just laughing from the inside out. It was just seeing this play and fun, and so that you know, just helped me to just, okay, get the paint out and start splashing. So I did that, and then about a couple of days later, you know, took him into the indoor studio and had a look, and hey, there's all these dog images. I had not planned this, but it just sort of seemed to, and the more I looked and wow, that's pretty freaky. So the dog theme came, and then of course I had the cartoon pinned up in the wall, the Pooch Cafe cartoon, which says it all. We'll just move the sign, you know. I mean, the story is just brilliant. So then, and then each panel then just started to build on and build on. I really wanted to use the color of that old paper, that I've used, that's an old drawing, pasted it on, and then starting with that color, then build out from there into the yellows and browns and blues. And then, so using those sort of the natural color of the wood panel as well, rather than covering it over with, you know, with paint. Each one was different, but they seemed to sort of, you know, just to try and interact. But then I didn't really know what the whole thing was going to look like until I got it into the studio, into the gallery, because I knew the size. The studio is only about half the size of the gallery here, the length, so I could only check it 2 halves at a time. But the color of the walls just matches everything. It just seems to absorb the whole, you know, all of the natural colours that are in the wood and the painted pieces that I've done. So you know, it's about you know, hidden images in a line or in a shape, and hidden images in, you know, wherever. There are hidden images everywhere. So you just have to kind of slow down and have a look and just let them tell you where they are. You know. So it's fun growing up, you know, as a kid, you know, and having a dog, and then being able to explore in the landscape, you know, with the dog. It really gives you that sort of sense of almost wild, you know. It gives you that other kind of, you know, because it's the dog is almost fox or almost coyote or almost wolf. It's got that sort of. So that really drew me, you know, the dog that I grew up with certainly gave me that kind of perspective, a whole other set of values, and yeah, just closer to nature, that's for sure. So I got a dog of my own when I came to Canada. I was living out in the prairies there, and got this little pup. They'd been washed up in the banks of the Bow River, and so I kind of rescued him, and somebody must have tried to drown him, I guess. But anyway, so I was living out on the prairies, and of course the coyotes are everywhere. And there was one night I was away at work, and there was one night they came close by, to the house and enticed him away. And he took off, and I thought, that's it, he's gone, you know. And that's what they told me. The farmer said, oh yeah, coyotes were around, he's probably gone, that'll be him, you know. But about 2 weeks, I put ads out in the neighbourhood. Yeah, there was like the nearest house was like about a mile away, but I put, you know, posted up just notices and stuff around the area. And somebody phoned about a week later, hey, I think I've got your dog, you know. So I went over, it was about 5 miles away, went over, and there he was. It was him, minus his collar. He'd gone wild, you know. And he slept for a couple of days under the truck, you know, when I got him home, but that was it. He never ran off again. So yeah, he was a